Hi there. My name's Patty and I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. I'm here to share my story about coming out as a gay person and actually a gay teacher, and also talking about my life as a Mercedes owner. Both interesting parallels. More about that. I came out in 1997 when Ellen DeGeneres came out, and it was a huge defining moment in my journey because I'd come out to my family long before that, probably when I was 23. And I came out with Ellen at 39 years old back in 1997. It was a big deal because as a teacher, I could have been fired back then just for being gay. So hard to believe, but true. So everybody kept saying, do not tell your story, do not come out, just keep it quiet. And I couldn't do it anymore because I was a self-esteem teacher telling kids, feel good about who you are, embrace your individuality. And here I wasn't doing the same thing. That's just wrong. So I was willing to take the risk, and I did so. I came out in the New Haven Register when a reporter walked in and announced her presence that she was covering Ellen DeGeneres coming out. And I refused to run and hide anymore. So I said, whatever happens, happens. If they take my picture, fine. And I was on the front page of the paper the next day. So there the story begins. And I have to say, best move I ever made. Turning point in my life, because what bigger obstacle can there be to overcome than being honest with who you are and arriving and empowering who you are no matter what happens. My family was still going to love me. The people who mattered were still going to love me. And all those people who gave me a hard time eventually fall in line, or if not, they have a lesson to learn. so, so what safety means to me is really feeling safe about who you are. And if you can't feel safe about who you are, imagine all those kids who go to school. Like I was one of those kids back in the 70s, just looking for somebody to be a role model. Because who do you go to back then and say, I think I'm gay. Can you help me figure that out? It just didn't happen. So I had to become the role model for the students that I knew may have been struggling, questioning their own sexual orientation. So I did. I became involved with GLSEN, the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, and I was on their board for 5 years. I marched alongside the Human Rights Campaign when Ellen DeGeneres and yeah. So I put on workshops across the United States, how to create a safe space for kids regardless of sexual orientation. Yeah, that was huge. So there is a parallel with being a Mercedes owner because the feeling of I've arrived also came to me being a Mercedes owner. As a kid growing up, you see the rich people driving the nice cars, and my dad was a teacher, and you don't make much money as a teacher, and you have a wife and 4 kids that you're taking care of, so a Mercedes wasn't in the family plan at that point, more like a little station wagon. So about 10 years ago, I got my first Mercedes, and it really said to me, and not in an arrogant, pretentious kind of way, almost like a private victory, you've arrived, Pat. You're financially secure. You kind of made it. And just like being gay and coming out and surviving it, it's like you made it. These little hurdles in life and these little defining moments that say, I'm here. Well, because I was a volleyball coach for 15 years and a phys ed teacher, how could I not go with the sporty version of the Mercedes? So I have the C Series, the 300, and it's brown. It's kind of cool. And sometimes it looks like a wine color, so it keeps people guessing because they're always coming up to me and saying, what color is this car? special things about our journey in life is all these pictures in front of our cars. So this is a cool one because my dad is somebody who means so much to me. And there's his picture in front of a car. And my grandfather was one of the first to have a vanity plate back then. So his was RJN. And our family still has that from the 1930s and 40s, which is pretty cool. And so how could I not get one? Mine's Patnick. And it looks pretty good on Ben, I have to say. So my dad meant a lot to me, and he passed away in 2011. He had this bracelet when he was a Boy Scout, and on the back of it, it says Central Street in Ansonia, where he lived, and on the front, he carved his name, Richard Nicolari. It fits me, and he was a kid. Let me show you this picture of him. This is just priceless. My dad and his younger brother, my Uncle Bob, who is looking up with total adoration, says it all about my father. So that bracelet is very special to me. As we looked up to him, everybody looked up to him. He was a role model, a great, great man. And yeah, I'm verklempt. So it's so interesting because when we talk about when did you know coming out, I see this piece of hair sticking out, so I got to put it down. It keeps popping up. All right, so when did you know you were gay? I have to say, probably looking at this little picture. Now there's my sister Lisa looking as feminine as could be with her knees together and waving. And there I am with my little baseball glove and my legs apart, and it's like, where's the game? So, honestly, I have 3 sisters who are as feminine as could be, love the Barbie dolls and all of that, while I was outside climbing the rocks and playing the sports and so on. And there's that damn piece of hair again. That's hysterical. Excuse me while I get some Loctite glue. So that's my story, and it's a pretty interesting one, and it's chronicled in a book. One Teacher in 10 by Kevin Jennings, who worked at the Obama administration. And I love being a Mercedes owner. And I have to say, I love the German cars because I do own another one. It's a 1974 VW camper. Those Germans know how to make cars. I'm going to give it to them. And my best friend who's from Munich is going to love that I said that because she's always saying that. So go Mercedes. Love it. Peace out.